What's up everyone, my name is Saahil and welcome back to my channel. And we're done with May and that marks like 5 months of 2020 and I can't wait for 2020 to just get over. I think all of us are in that zone. But there were certain things which I really liked this month. There were really two moments which really changed the month for good. And so I'm doing my May favorites. Okay, first up, like always, the favorite product. This product is actually really cool. It's the Lifebuoy Germ Kill Spray. On our hands, essentially, we can still use sanitizer, but I've always been a little wary of using thick sanitizer and the, sticky sanitizers on gadgets like our phones, on my laptop, or on the tables, things like that. And that's where this comes in, right? And the good thing is, they say that this is for like iPads or phones or gadgets and for the hands as well. And what I actually like about it is that it's so thin, right? Like just spray it, rub it, and there's no stickiness. Like it's gone. Like just air dry it, and it smells so nice. Like it has this nice soothing aloe vera. Like I'm obsessed with the smell, and somehow my sanitizer also smells the same. And they're two completely different sanitizers. I'm gonna leave the description of all the things I'm gonna mention in this video, so you can check out the description for everything you wanna know. But yes, this is somehow the only product I loved in May. Next up, my moments. And even though May was a month of nationwide lockdown, I actually happened to fly out of Mumbai, and that marked a very important moment in my month. And that's why you see me in a completely different setup. This is my parents' house in Chandigarh. I was supposed to fly out before the lockdown, but then we didn't do it, so we did it now. So that really changed a lot of things, because now I feel mentally far more calm with my family. And this is one of those, it's a blessing in disguise that we all get to be with our families and spend so much more time with them, even though the world is going down to the dogs. But still, that was a very important moment. And connected to that was the second moment. So one of my friends suggested to actually vlog the entire experience while I traveled.
Good morning, ma'am.
Mine was one of the first, I think, 4 or 5 flights that kind of took to the Indian skies. So I vlogged the entire moment and I put it up online. And right now, as we speak, the real-time views are over 15,000, which is so exciting. It's kind of humbling, it's kind of overwhelming, it's a mixed emotion, because I've never seen these kinds of numbers and this kind of response. So that marked a very important moment, because these numbers were really crazy. I also got interviewed by Homegrown because I did this vlog. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. I'm also gonna leave the vlog up here so you guys can check it out. But yes, flying out was very cool. Time for my favorite movies. First up, Bad Education.
I got us all the way to number 4, and I will get us to number 1.
Get us to first. That's all that matters.
This movie blew my mind. It stars Hugh Jackman, and it's about one of the largest public school embezzlements that happened in America. It was, I think, in the New York State in the year around 2002, where the superintendent of the public school systems in that area, along with the assistant superintendent, embezzled the public school for around $7 to $8 million across the years. And it's good to see Hugh Jackman in a very different avatar, because we've always seen Hugh Jackman, at least for the last few years, in a very macho X-Men kind of a role. And also the fact that when I read up on it, and in fact towards the end also, it says that these guys were convicted for 9 to 12 years, like Hugh Jackman's character in real life. But even today, because he was a teacher, his pension is $173,000 a year. So despite committing embezzlement for millions of dollars, he still gets over $150,000 in his bank account every year. But yeah, this movie was so beautifully done. So that is my first favorite movie.
This is a criminal matter.
Frank's gonna fix this.
Next up on Apple TV is Knives Out. Now,
Are you baiting me, detective?
Attempting to be thorough so we can figure out the manner of death.
You mean if someone killed him?
So it's essentially about this family who's really rich, They're, I think, into publication. And the main guy, like, who owns the publication house, who's like the grandfather or like the uncle to a lot of people, he dies. And turns out it was a murder. Now, I'm not going to give a lot of details because it's a suspense thriller movie. So you watch it, but I love the end because you're like, okay, fine, now I get the movie. I've kind of understood it, but then it twists around completely.
I suspect foul play.
First favorite show is Upload on Prime Video.
You really want to upload? We could be together forever.
You are so amazing. But forever is just like so long.
Brilliant concept, okay? Very simple but brilliant. The human race has reached an era in technology where if you die, you get an option to, kind of actually go the old traditional way of actually dying, or you can get uploaded on like a cloud system and kind of continue your life there. So, and you can still connect and keep in touch with the real world, and you have an entire life. So it's like a game of sorts. So if you're like really rich, you live in these beautiful, amazing places. And the funny part is that like they have the concept of bots, like an advertisements that keep coming in, like bugging you in the middle of it. It's a very, very, very interesting concept. Watch it.
Do you think I wanted to fall into the Grand Canyon?
That's how you died?
They should expect people to try and break the glass floor.
I saw that video. You dabbed on the way down.
That's how you get the likes.
Okay, next up, and I want to give a disclaimer. I know things are like really, really down these days. So if you cannot take something which is very dark and very heavy on the head, do not watch this. I'm talking about a brilliant show, Pataal Lok. It was produced by Anushka Sharma. And it has Jaideep Ahlawat, and it has this new guy, Ishfaq Singh, who's actually has a very small role in Veer the Wedding.
और इन चारों को अरेस्ट करने का प्रोसीजर शुरू करो। चार्ज क्या रहेगा सर? Conspiracy to murder.
It's about the corrupted system in the Indian politics and in the Indian ecosystem as such actually, and how to just come into power. You use a lot of people as pawns. Right, and which is essentially Pataal Lok, that people who are in the Swarg Lok, who are these ministers of very high profile people, will use these really like poor, underprivileged, desperate, in need for money or any kind of attention, those kind of people, to actually further their agenda. And how the Dharti Lok people, who are these middlemen like police officers, journalists, and everybody, those are the people who actually unintentionally aid these Swarg Lok people to further agendas and actually work as these goons in our ecosystem. Yes, it is very, very dark. It's very, very graphic. So of course, if you are, I suggest if you're less than younger than 18, please do not watch it. But if you're watching it, I am sure you will not regret it.
तो यही कहेंगे ना आतिराम के होते ही केस सॉल्व होता भी तो कैसे?
Going from a dark show to a brilliantly fun and fantastic upbeat show, Hollywood on Netflix.
All right, everyone, roll camera. Action.
Now it's based in 1940s. I mean, the show had to be amazing because Ryan Murphy is the creator. I mean, that guy has created one of the most fun shows over the period of time. But also the fun part is we have Patti LuPone. If you don't know her, check out her work. And we have Jim Parsons, who plays Henry Wilson. But the fun part is half the characters are fictional and half the characters are based on real people, like Jim Parsons on Henry Wilson, Anna Mae Wong, and then there is Rock Hudson. And these three people actually exist in Hollywood in the 40s. And Hollywood is actually a tribute to not only Hollywood, but to these people as to how they're, and giving a rewriting to their stories. I mean, Hollywood didn't do justice to their lives, right? Anna Mae Wong was never given the credit because she was one of the first Asian women out there in Hollywood trying to prove her mettle. Or for that matter, Rock Hudson, as to how Henry Wilson or the other people, had to keep his sexuality down and he had to just fake his life, throughout. And he eventually died and the controversy just became big. So basically Hollywood is a rewrite and a happier rewrite of their lives. And it's just brilliant. It's so consuming. It's a mini series, kind of like 7 episodes, 1 hour each. just watch it. You will fall in love with it.
This is Hollywood, kid.
I can make that dream of yours come true.
But it ain't gonna mean anything if this is what I do to get it.
Next up on Netflix is Schitt's Creek. And trust me, it's literally one of the best shows ever. Every character is just a masterpiece. Catherine O'Hara as Moira Rose. I mean, if you've not been under the rock, Moira Rose memes are literally all over the internet. Or be it Alexis. Alexis has like a song, right, to herself. And all these characters are just so weird, but you want to be with them. Like, these are those people you want to know. And trust me, like, if I could really make a plea to run this show forever, I would have. But it's just one of those shows which adds so much value to your life, and it's a brilliant, brilliant show, and my May favorite, and maybe like an all-time favorite.
Johnny Rose, my wife Moira.
Hi. Oh, I love your complexion.
Another very interesting show on Netflix is Raja Rasoi और अन्य कहानियाँ.
बिरयानी एक ऐसी डिश है जो कश्मीर से चट्टिनाद तक और राजस्थान से कलकत्ता तक खाई जाती है भिन्न-भिन्न रूप और प्रकार में.
Now this is a very documentary style show. I think it's like 8-10 episodes, but basically every episode goes into one state, be it Punjab, be it Delhi, be it Maharashtra, and they actually go into the history of the food. So there's something about Tamil Nadu. It mentions that sambar was never, it's not a Tamilian dish. Actually, when the Marathas came to Tamil Nadu, they, I think, one time did not have kokum, and this Raja asked this chef to put something else, and that's how basically sambar came into existence. Or for that matter, non-vegetarian food was brought in by the Marathas into the whole Tanjore culture. So all these kind of, little trivia, and going to the food, like, the gullies of Punjab, and, the mustard fields, and looking at Delhi's Chandni Chowk and the whole food culture, every state and the brilliant, history, their rich culture, their food and everything. It's just a very, very cool show. But maybe it interests me because I really love trivia. But if you love food, even then, it's a show for you. And last but not the least, taking from last month, is Defending Jacob.
We have some bad news on the case. The print we lifted from the victim is from your son.
Jaden Martle is too good. I mean, Chris Evans, of course, but Jaden Martle is just brilliant. Like, in this 8th episode, okay, like, the creators have just taken you for a toss. You're just like, oh my god. Like, till now, you were like, okay, I like this boy, this and that. And like, by the 8th episode, you don't know, is he really the murderer or is he not? Like, you have your doubts yourself. And I mean, the ending is, of course, different than the book. So in case you've read the book, still watch the show because the ending is different. But what I loved the most about Defending Jacob, especially its last episode, is because it starts with warming you up, right? But like, in the sense, it warms your heart, but then it confuses you, it takes you to the edge, it thrills you, and towards the end just leaves you to contemplate, to introspect, and to just think, that what just happened. And that's why Defending Jacob is one of the actual, like, literally the best shows that have come up on Apple TV till date.
I want the truth!
So guys, that's it from me. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Comment below with your May favorites. I would really, really want to know, and put them in my list. Check out my last video here. Subscribe here, and I will see you guys soon. Bye-bye, and stay safe.